This is the worst part. Like, this is the part that I sit here every time and I'm like, okay, am I gonna try to be cool or am I just gonna be normal? Hey y'all, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. My best friend, Colton, is here. And today he is gonna give us the inside scoop on what it's like to be transgender here in the United States of America. Starting out easy, when did you know that you were quote-unquote different?
I knew in 4th grade.
So you were young?
Yeah, I was young.
You were really young and you knew?
Yeah, I knew I liked females, and I saw myself as one of the boys that I played with in the neighborhood, but nobody else saw me as the boys that played in the neighborhood.
Alright, so right after we graduated high school, you came out as lesbian, as being gay.
Yeah.
So kind of tell us what your mental process was from thinking that you were gay until being a man.
Well, I had been living a double life from my junior year of high school until 2014 when I got back from basic training. I was dating a female that entire time.
But
same
secretly.
female, but secretly.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, she didn't even know. It was a complete secret, and it was just, I was miserable. Like, I went to my darkest place because I wasn't myself. I literally was living a double life. So when I got back from basic training in 2014, like, I knew I was transgender. I had already done my research, and I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos of people who was transgender, and I was like, that's me. Like, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like my body doesn't match my brain and how I see myself. But I couldn't come out as transgender because of the military. They had a military transgender ban. I could have gotten kicked out, and I just started my military career. So I was like, I guess my easiest thing to do would be to come out as lesbian, so then I could at least not hide that I date females. So I could be happy for once. So I came out as lesbian, and that was, I do regret not just coming out as transgender, but, you know, the military was stopping that.
So that was the only reason why you came out as gay first, was because of the military ban?
Yeah, that was it. Just
okay.
Strictly because the military would have kicked me out, and I wouldn't have even been in a year. But October 1st of 2017, the military dropped the transgender ban, and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm coming out.
Okay, so my next question is, what is the difference between a stud and a trans man? Like, when you were in your gay relationships, when you were the stud versus like now, is there like a mental difference, a physical difference, or is it just like how you feel?
No, there's not really a difference. How I dress now is how I dressed when I was identified as a stud.
But that doesn't mean all studs want to be a male.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, not all studs want to be a male.
Yeah.
The only difference being a stud and being a trans man now is I worry about passing. When I'm in public, going to the bathroom.
So misgendering is just your difference.
That's my, pretty much.
Okay.
Worrying about getting misgendered is the only thing that's different.
Yeah. So when you did come out to your family, how difficult was it for you, and how has it changed your family dynamic today?
It was very scary to come out to my parents, even though I told them in 2014.
So you told them when you were coming out as
lesbian, but I had to write them a letter. I couldn't say it.
Yeah.
Like, I had never.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I never said it, like physically said it. So, and I couldn't bring myself to say it. So I wrote them a letter, and I hid it in my stepmom's purse for her to find it eventually.
Surprise!
My stepmom texted me and was like, we need to talk about this. And we never talked about it. Like, I was like, no, we don't. 3 years, we did not talk about it. And so, but I was still scared out of my mind to tell them that I was going to start transitioning. So after the trans ban was dropped with the military, I immediately told my parents, and I was shaking, and they did not take it very well.
Like, can you feel a difference when you're around, like they treat you differently, or no? It just feels like you're
No, I was worried that they would because everybody thought that I was going to be a completely different person. They're pretty good with it now. My family still struggles with like the pronouns and the preferred name, but you know that comes with time, and I understand that.
So that was like a whole nother coming out party, was coming out to the military. How was that? Was that more nerve-wracking than anybody?
Yeah, I told the military in November, and I was shaking. Yes. And they were like, okay, we're not gonna lie to you, like you're our first experience with this. We're learning as we go. So
you're the guinea pig.
Yeah, I was the guinea pig. I was the first person to openly transition in the South Carolina National Guard. So that was even more nerve-wracking.
What is the process of transitioning and the things that you went through to transition?
I started out with the mental process first.
I'm sure you did that very young.
Yes, I did. I was extremely nervous to come out to my friends, like my close friends.
And you were terrified to tell me.
Yeah, because I was just scared that I wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah. As someone like me who's been your ride or die since 4th grade, 5th grade, coming out to me and like having my reaction of like, okay, like I already knew that, but thanks for telling me. Like in that moment, whenever you saw my reply, how did that affect you in your process?
As soon as I saw your reaction, it was like an involuntary, like,
yeah, like just like, oh, thank God.
Thank God. I can't lose my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, so I was really worried, but I wasn't like extremely worried.
Yeah.
Because you don't care.
Yeah. No.
Like you don't judge. So, and I knew that, but it was still like the thoughts were still going through my head.
So after you came out basically to yourself, and then you started coming out to friends and family and all that, then after you had basically come out, is that when you started, you had to go to therapy first, right, before you could do anything?
Yep, you have to do a year of therapy.
Is that just to be like, are you sure?
Yeah, basically.
So it's basically just making sure that you don't have like an actual mental disease.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I talked to her about why I wanted to transition, how I felt over these years, you know, what my plan was, and that was when she referred me to a doctor. So my next step was to make an appointment with that doctor so I could get my prescription for my testosterone. I had started my testosterone January 29th.
So you were on it for like 5 months before you got your hysterectomy.
Yeah. So I went for my appointment to see my OBGYN. I saw her and I said, I want a like a complete hysterectomy. I was like, I'm transgender. I've already started my transitioning. Already seeing a therapist. I want a hysterectomy, so it would be considered sex reassignment surgery in South Carolina. That way I can change my gender and all that. And she said, okay. And I was like, oh.
Well, thank you.
She was like, I understand, you know, how you're
good.
feeling. Yeah.
We have people like that still left.
Yeah, so I had my hysterectomy.
Yeah.
And
now we're over a year now that you have had your complete hysterectomy.
Yeah.
So we haven't even said this. You've been transitioning for
a year and
4 months.
Yep.
So you told us about like the physical things of how you had to go through to like change your body. Kind of explain the difficultiness, is that a word?
No.
It is now. Of having to like legally go about the process of transitioning.
I didn't think it would be like real easy.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be a little bit easier than the medical side.
Just paperwork stuff. You thought
I thought it would just be paperwork. No.
Yeah.
No, because not only was I doing things legal on the civilian side, I was doing things legally on the military side as well. My first step legally has been to change my name.
But let's give a little backstory on that. Your female name before was Sierra.
Yep.
Your preferred name now, your name.
Yeah, my legal name now.
Legal name. His name is Colton, and then your middle name is Ray after your dad.
Yep. I knew I wanted Ray. I just needed to pick something that worked with Ray.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to keep my first initial.
Yeah.
I'd say what flustered me the most was I was worried about having to actually do the affidavits and the court petitions and all that stuff. I contacted a National Guard lawyer. I told him that I was transitioning and I need help with the court papers.
Yeah.
He said, okay, well, I can do that. Just send me all the stuff. So I sent him all the stuff and he typed it up for me. It was exactly how it needed to look. The next step was sending my stuff in the sled. So sent that in, got it back. And once I got that, I had to pay $150 to file for a court fee. They called me 3 days later talking about, you have court in a week. And I was like, what? Okay. I mean, I had to make sure I had all my affidavits, all my petitions. I had to make sure I had letters from my doctors, my therapist, my testosterone doctor, my OBGYN. So May 14th, I got my name legally changed.
So now your name, as of May 14th of 2019, your legal name is Colton Ray Todd.
Yep. Got my birth certificate. Then I had to go to the Social Security office with my court papers. And so I got my new Social Security card. And then 2 days ago, I changed my license. I had to make sure I had my court papers in too. With my new birth certificate and my new social.
Okay, here's the hard question. You ready?
Yeah.
I mean, I already know this, but you're eventually going to have kids one day. You won't carry them, but you will have kids one day.
Correct.
So kind of explain what your mental process will be of having kids and the process of, like, when you have a wife.
So my wife obviously will carry.
Yes, because you're a man.
Yeah, I'm a man, and
Yes.
I have no ovaries.
Yes.
We'll find a sperm donor, and
Have you thought about, like, if you wanted just to be, like, some random person, or
No.
if you wanted to be someone you know?
It would need to be somebody I know, like I know their family history.
Could you, though? Could you know that that's his kid? Like, could you really handle that?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, I could not.
There would have to be lawyers involved.
Yeah.
Like, paperwork
Oh, yeah.
would have to be drawn up, you know, and you would have to sign it legally saying, I understand I would not have any rights with this kid. Once the baby's born, you know, I would be on the birth certificate, not the sperm
as
donor.
the father.
Yeah, as father. And then I would raise my kid.
You know how some kids grow up, they have two moms, they have two dads, and they get explained, you know, you just have two mommies or you just have two daddies. Realistically, you know, you can't really explain that to a 2-year-old.
Right.
But have you thought about how you're gonna, if you even will, come out, per se, to your kids?
Right now, I feel like I would, you know, of course, I would be daddy.
Yeah.
And my kid would know me
They
as...
would call you daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell my kid, daddy used to be a girl. I mean, kids, they accept what they see. I mean, if my kid asked, yeah.
Yeah,
or
you wouldn't
if-
keep it from them, but you're not going to go
Right.
out prowling around like, hey, daddy used to be a girl.
Right.
Okay, last question. We made it. We made it.
Made it. It's hot. We
It
made
is.
it.
I'm about to die over here in a black shirt. So this is probably going to be the easiest question I've asked you all day.
Okay.
That's why I ended it on this one, so it would be easy. What can we do as a society to make the transgender community feel like they are a part of society just like everyone?
Respect.
Okay.
Like, that's the main thing that we ask
So you just
for.
want the same thing everybody else does?
Yeah, we do.
You're just like us.
We just want the same thing. Call them by their preferred name, whether they've legally changed it or not.
Yeah.
Call them by their preferred pronouns. You know, just be respectful. Don't ask them, you know, what they got in their pants.
What?
Please don't. That's so disrespectful.
What?
Yeah, people do that. Like, people do that. Like,
They ask you if you got junk in your pants?
Yes.
What?
like don't.
You need to carry
Why?
around something to be like, yes! And just whip it out like, yeah, you want to see it?
Like, I'm the type of person, I'm not going to, you can ask me questions, because I would rather you ask,
Yeah.
you know, instead of being ignorant. I like for people to ask me questions, you know, how, like, what is it like, you know, what's the process, what do you go through, but don't ask.
Like physical questions.
Yeah, and when you ask disrespectful questions like that, like it just, our dysphoria, it reminds us, and like, it brings us down, and that's not okay.
Is there anything else you want to add before we close this up?
Y'all got any questions?
Yes, I will have all of his social medias linked down there in the description. If you need help, if you need advice, if you need anything, he is your dude. He can answer. He's an expert in this by now. Like, I can literally raise my hand for that. He is an expert.
Y'all have something you need to talk about, you know, even if you're not transgender and you have questions, you can contact me, you know, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and ask, but please be respectful.
Yes.
Because
any hate that gets sent, you're gonna have to deal with me, okay?
just be respectful, and I'll answer whatever questions y'all have.
Well, I think that's all that we have for today's video. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Thank you so much for making your grand appearance. You will see him again. All of Colton's socials are going to be linked down there in the description. If you need any help, if you need to talk, anything, reach out to him. But be respectful because you already know. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video. Leave me some comments down there in the comment section. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye! It's getting hot now. Shouldn't have worn a black shirt. Cut that, Taylor. Yeah, give myself notes. But I don't know how to say that on the internet. So that's why I was asking you.
It's my gift to you.
Merry Christmas. That thing. You hear it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
It's like one of them little bugs.
How does a little bug make that much noise?
I don't know.
Positive outlook, people. Positive outlook. Film and I edit it. I'm like, God dang it, Colton. This is my friend. We're malfunctioning.
I was extremely.
Good idea to do this outside.
Dang. Yeah.
LGBT. Why do y'all gotta make it so long?
LGBTQ friendly.
How do you say that stuff?
Years of practice.
I have to literally LGBTQ.
I
could not do it.
I could.
Because as soon as he would do something, I'd be like, come get your youngin'.
What you got in your pants?
You got a vagina down there? I mean, you hear them squirrels over there? They either making a baby or they fighting.